Hello, today we're doing some Pilates for longevity. And that means that we're taking care of the brain, the spine, and also your organs. And longevity is really truly part of wellness rather than the fitness aspect of movement and in Pilates in particular. And today we'll need a cushion. If you happen to have an inflated ball, so maybe 4 or 5 inches, that would be great as well, but the cushion is in case you don't have an inflated ball. As you may know, I use the cordless ball in my practice, but if you don't have one of those, a cushion will do well. I'm just going to make a note of that in our comments here, and if you have any questions or requests, please let me know. Cool, so we are going to get started in a few minutes. Go ahead and get your mat set up, or if you don't have a mat, just anywhere along the floor, the carpet. This is the type of cushion that you could use. And I'll grab my inflated ball. So this is the gorgeous ball. It's nice and squishy, which is what we need. And while we're waiting for a few more people to arrive, this is a great opportunity to get some bonus breaths happening. Breathing in long and tall, and exhale, feeling heavy in the hips and light in the neck and the head. Just breathe. I want to thank you so much for your support from the team of teachers at YogaVision. If you are interested in seeing more, you can always let us know what you're seeking. But also please subscribe. It really helps us to stay on YouTube. And feel free to also hit the notification button and stay in contact with us. We really want to feel that connection with the people that are practicing with us. So again, feel free to say hi and make any requests that you might be seeking for your personal practice. Also, if you have a brain injury, let us know, because we can absolutely adjust our practice and get some videos that can help those issues in particular. So my background is in yoga and Pilates. I am a yoga tune-up teacher and a teacher of the role model method, which uses a blend of yoga and massage to really help the body be more productive and more well, rather than, again, the fitness aspect. But you do get both. You get strong and you also get healthy. So we'll get started either taking a seat on that squishy inflated ball or grabbing a cushion. And I do recommend folding it in half and then take a seat. So with the seated epidemic that we have going on in the Western world, where we're always about a couple of feet off of the floor, and our hip range of motion gets moved only to that level, and then we go to bed and our bed is also that high. Even we go to relieve ourselves in the restroom, and also we just sit to that degree. So the hips are not used to moving in a bigger range of motion than that 90-degree position with the knee directly in front of the hip. So just sitting like this is wonderful for the hips, and I highly recommend doing it as often as possible. As we begin, we'll actually stack the opposite leg in front. So we have the habit of having one leg closest to us. We want to bring the non-dominant leg in closer and feeling elongated through the spine. As you might see, I'm a little pitched forward, and we tend to move forward when we're a little bit anxious or excited for life. But right here, let's take a lean back And as you do, instead of elevating the chin, allow the chin to settle in parallel to the floor and almost inward and backward towards the throat. And now thinking of those front ribs drawing back towards the spine here, and that's already a bit of a sit-up sensation. So you're drawing the ribs and the pubic bone a little closer to each other, and that's helping to lengthen through the back of the lumbar vertebrae. As you're here feeling long and tall, inhale through the nostrils and exhale. You can exhale through the mouth, breathing in through the nose. And through the mouth, exhale, just let it all go. And this is wonderful to help climatize the spine, breathing in long and deep. Sorry, I said climatize the spine. I really mean to bring the nervous system into homeostasis. Oh my goodness. So these long, deep breaths helps to bring the body into balance here. Beautiful. And now often we grip in the groin area, so actually truly relax into the pelvic floor tissues here, feeling soft and supple and really heavy in the hips. Breathing in, feeling long and tall, and exhale heavy in the hips and relax into the pelvic floor area, which is that groin area. Now that you're here, start to move the lower back right to left, side to side. Here. Good. So getting the spine to move in a different direction helps with the longevity of the spine. Think of again, the low back, which means below the rib cage and above the hips, into the lumbar vertebrae of the spine here. Beautiful. And now start to move through the shoulders. And again, this movement of the glenohumeral joint here helps to wake up the muscles that attach to the thoracic part of the spine where all of the rib bones connect. We have so many joints in the spine, over 100. So it's really important that we get things moving in a unique way compared to our daily movement in the body. So the side to side, helping to wake up those joints here, and then let the head go as well, rocking right to left. And it does feel good, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. Maybe even closing your eyes and letting the head rock towards the shoulder here. Beautiful. And the last 2 times, please come back to center. Awesome. Sweep the arms big and wide. Inhale. Lift the shoulders up and elevate the shoulder blades. Lifting them up, reach to the ceiling, and then imagine you're hanging from something here. Let the hips again be heavy as you imagine hanging. Bring the fingers to the back of the skull and double your chin. As you're here, also knit your ribs towards each other and backward towards your spine here. Good. Push your head into your fingertips. Nice. And then take the arms all the way up again. Think of the back rib cage lifting away from the pelvis and hug those front ribs in, bringing the fingertips to the back of the skull once again. And little pulses of those elbows moving forward and back. Pulse the elbows back and back. Hug the waist and nice and strong. Feel sturdy in your spine. And 4, 3, 2, and hold. Reach those arms up again. And imagine reaching up to try to reach for that. Imagine a limb of a tree and then hang from that imaginary limb. Perfect. Bringing the palms together here all the way down in front of your heart. Lovely. We're getting into the feet. So bring the soles of the feet together and lift your big toes up away from the siblings there. You want to pull that big toe away, and your other 2 fingers are kind of pushing into that, what could be but isn't, bunion, hopefully. And when the body thinks that something's up, it will do whatever it can to build stability. So that's what a bunion is, the body's way of compensating for that big toe that's been shifted over to the other siblings here. So this is really important if you do see any sort of bunion or the bone beyond, below the big toe shifting to the midline a little bit. We want to pull that big toe back away from the other toes. If you take a look at feet of tribes people, just Google that and you'll see that their feet are big and broad, and that's wonderful. It creates a big foundation. And now taking the foot, the right leg, so bringing that right foot in closer to you and start to circle the toes. So you might be thinking, what the heck do my toes have to do with longevity of my organs and my brain and my spine? Well, the brain, of course, because the nerves connect all the way down here, and our toes begin to go a little, maybe not reverse that circle, go the other way. So we really want to create that nerve connection to the brain all of the way up, going to the second toe and give those toes a wiggle and go the other direction here, and then again moving to the next toe. So we just want to wake up all of the muscles that go to the toes, go to the second last toe, the ring toe, if you will, and circle in both directions. And then going to that baby toe here, give it a wiggle. Now we can interlace our fingers in between the toes, giving this space. So the toes actually don't have muscles, they have tendons, but the muscles are in the feet here. We want to start to circle and massage, circling and moving, getting all of this activity happening. Think about the movement of your feet. So even when we're barefoot, we're still generally on a flat surface, and our feet, they are like the bridges of the body, so many different arches in the body, and the feet are the first foundational arch. And the feet are capable of walking over sand, over stones, and that is really wonderful because it wakes up all of the muscles of the feet. So compared to what we could be doing with our feet in nature and what we do in our everyday living, it's quite a vast difference, and it absolutely has an impact on the knee, on the hips, which impact your spine. Let's reverse and switch feet here, and going into the big toe and give it a nice circle in one direction, and then go ahead and reverse that. And you might be thinking, oh my goodness, this is not a productive use of my time. Absolutely this is. Let's go to the next toe. So why are we playing with our feet? It's just so important for the foundation of the whole structure of our bones and our joints. Going to the middle finger here, middle toe. Reverse, just giving a nice wiggle, wake things up. Going to the ring toe, so to speak, the second to last toe, moving it around, circling. Now I'm rushing through this because you might not think it's very beneficial, so I'm just trying to move on to something that you will find more attractive, so to speak. But this is really important, and I encourage you to do this for way longer than we have today. So this is just a tiny little primer, but it's so productive. I encourage you to do this for maybe 20 minutes or so and really work with your toes. One other thing that you can do on your own is take one toe backward and one toe forward, really get that stretch, and then reverse that. And you do that to each toe as well, doing that. So I encourage you to do that in your own time. This is just a 30-minute practice. So we are going to move on. Soles of the feet come together and bounce through the knees here. Unclench the teeth and the jaw. Lovely. 3 and 2. And we're going to recline. So we're using that cushion still, and we're reclining onto the back. We want the cushion to be behind the pelvis at a bone called the sacrum, which is right in between the hips here. So already we're improving the tissues of the pelvic floor. So with this inclined position with the hips higher than your shoulders, we're alleviating the pressure that is often on that pelvic floor area. Especially seated, a lot of the weight just sinks into the groin, and those tissues, they become sort of tense because they're gripping so much. Now we're moving on to the brain. As you're reclined here, take your right arm up to the ceiling just above your right shoulder joint and move it in a clockwise direction. Circling in one direction, and then reverse, go counterclockwise. Great, so we've got that happening. Hold the arms steady, sink your rib cage down to the floor. We have the right arm lifted. It's the left leg that we're going to take up towards the ceiling, right above your hip here. Take a few pumps of the ankle, plantar and dorsiflexion of the ankle joint. And then we're moving into a point hold there. Both the arm and the leg move in clockwise directions. So they're moving in the same direction. Let's reverse so they both are moving counterclockwise. Do you feel how your body's sort of rocking? Hug into your waist. Stay strong and heavy in the torso as you move the legs and nothing else. That one leg and one arm. Hold steady right here. Now here's the fun part. Straighten your left leg along the ground. We don't want this leg to move or rock. Hold steady, firm into your thigh and point. Really feel long in that left leg. Now we want the right arm, left leg to move counter each other. So one goes clockwise, the other goes counterclockwise. And this is an interesting exercise for the brain. Staying right above the joint. And now they both reverse. So the leg goes clockwise, the arm goes counterclockwise. And hopefully the brain is feeling this, and it feels a little uncoordinated at first, but you'll get it going. Beautiful. Hold right here, taking that right arm down to the ground. Take the left leg all the way up. Sorry, that right leg. My apologies. Both legs are up to the sky. And point and flex into that ankle that we didn't do that with, so just point and flex right here. 3 and 2. And 1, point the toes, bring those legs together, and now spin your thigh bone outward, finding external rotation. Bend your knees big and wide, and the soles of the feet come together like a little frog here with those bent knees. Sink your rib cage down again, and straighten the legs up. Bloom the feet, flatten them. Bring the toes to touch, bend the knees coming down, and then straighten the legs, bloom the feet nice and big and wide. Bring the soles of the feet together, bend your knees down, and bloom those feet again. Perfect. Let's bring the big toes together and drop the left leg. So I misspoke earlier when I said it was the left leg that was straight out. This time it is the left leg that's straight out. Right leg is lifted. Opposite sides, as long as you're not doing the same side as you did before. And point through that right leg. Left arm goes to the ceiling. You know what's going on, so we're going to get right to it. Circle both arm and leg in the same direction. Let's go clockwise here. You want to stay right above the joint. You want to hug in through the waist so that nothing else is moving with the body, just the arm and just that leg. Reverse this, going counterclockwise right here. Unclench your teeth in your jaw. Really straighten long through that leg that's on the floor. Perfect. Hold right here. Now we do opposite. One goes counter, the other goes clockwise, counterclockwise or clockwise. And then reverse those. Go the other way. Nice. For 3 and 2. And 1, hold the arm and the leg steady. Take the arm down to the ground. Both legs come up high to the ceiling above your hips once again. Now that you're here, we're turning those thighs out. Bring the soles of the feet together. Bend the knees like that frog position. And then we're touching those toes together. Straighten all the way up to the ceiling right here and flare those feet out big and wide. Touch the soles of the feet together. Bend the knees right here. And then straighten the legs and flare those toes, bring them together, and bend again. Beautiful. Last time, let's straighten up and send the big toes to each other so they're touching. Point through those big toes and lower both of your legs halfway down to the floor. Hold right here. Sink your ribs to the ground here and just your palms lift. Leave your shoulders on the ground. Pump the palms up to the sky. Yes. Breathing into the back ribs, sinking your ribs to the mat. And exhale, hug the front ribs to the spine. Breathe into the ribs that you reclined on, those back ribs. And as you exhale, hug those front ribs in. Good, last 2. And last time, breathe. Take the arms above the shoulders, legs above the hips. Separate your legs just hip distance apart. So we don't want those legs to fall into the chest like I just did. We want to keep them right above the hips. Here's the fun. Your left leg goes to the left, your right arm goes to the right, and you move opposite arms in the opposite direction. Come back up. So you're almost creating a starfish formation. Left arm, right leg moves sideways and then returns back up. So as you can tell here, we are absolutely working the brain and trying to find this coordination, but also challenging our abdominal muscles and not letting the core move when the legs are pulling and trying to pull the torso to each side. So hug in center, hug the ribs in, engage the abdominals, engage the back here. Great. Last time with the left arm and right leg sideways. And then come all of the way up. Beautiful. Hands down at your side. So that cushion gives us something to push into here. It also gives us a little lift, so we're protecting the spine, the lumbar, the low back. Push away. Last 2. And last time, bend those knees. Please land your feet and heel toe your feet out so that they're as wide as the shoulders. Do turn your toes straight forward. That's a little bit of a must for me. It's kind of my pet peeve. But get those toes straight forward only because of the health of your knee. Elevate your hips off of the cushion. Remove the cushion off to the side here. Perfect. Now that you're here, sink your rib cage down just a 1/2 inch, get a little lower. Nice. Right hip rocks higher and level out. Left hip lifts higher and level again. So this is a tiny little twist. I don't want you to twist too big because that can, if you have anything like osteoporosis or osteopenia, it's not good for those conditions. So we want this movement to be small here, and it's really a glute squeeze. I'm even exaggerating the lift. This is how small you want it. So just squeeze into the buttocks and feel a little bit of a pivot in the pelvis. Perfect. Last one on the right side. Last time on the left side, and hold the hip center. Strong arms onto the floor. Let's externally rotate through those shoulders. So spin your biceps and your palms to the sky. And then just at your wrist, turn back down. Now that you're here, elevate your heels. Slam your right heel into the floor and lift. Slam your left heel into the floor and lift. All right, so we're pushing down. If you have neighbors downstairs, they're gonna hate you right now. And I happen to have a couple people, but they're little people, so it's okay. Good, so you wanna land down and down and they're hitting back. Good, so this is sending electrical pulse into your bones and helping to increase bone density. Good, I'm just gonna do this for 4, 3, 2, 1, and land both heels down to the ground. Sink your ribs and your hips land to the floor right here. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Leave your neck and head on the ground, but lengthen the back of your neck and nod your chin in towards your throat. So you feel really long through the back of your neck. The right hand reaches down towards your right ankle, left leg to the ceiling at first here. Lower that left leg out in front of your pelvis, sink your ribs heavier into the ground. We're doing single leg stretch with the neck on the and neck and head down to the floor. Let's switch to the left side. Notice the left hand reaches out to that ankle and the right hand is guiding the knee in. Let's move faster. Switch and switch. Now see if you can get the leg a little lower. Fight to keep your ribs in towards the front ribs towards your spine right here. Really work into that. We're not lifting the head just because I don't want to put any excess pressure on the neck. We're still getting some cardio happening here with that faster movement and engaging through the core, your abs, your back. Push the ribs into the ground. Really feel long through the spine. 4, 3, 2, bring both of your knees into your chest right here. Nice. Sink those ribs down. Open your knees big and wide. And then kick the legs into a V shape. Beautiful. Drift your legs an inch forward so they're more at the base of the hip. Circle your legs together and bring them up the midline. Nice. Now notice when you lift up, you didn't sink your low back into the floor. The legs stop above your hips. And you're heavy in your tailbone, not into your lower back. Do you see the difference? Tailbone heavy rather than low back heavy. Great, now that you've got that, let's go big and wide, 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 wide with those legs. Circle down and pull up. So the benefit of doing this in your own home, in your own practice, and not in a room full of people, is you can get those legs big and wide and you're not going to run into anyone. We have to find the bright side, right? So reach those legs all the way around. Don't let the legs come closer to your chest. When they come up, your tailbone gets heavy and the legs only come in line with your hips here. Last time, just like this. And bring the legs up, bend the knees, and now you can feel how that lower back rounds out a little. Good stuff. Now, instead of rocking on the spine, let's roll over to the side in order to come up. And coming into a tabletop or quadruped position. Wrists are right under your shoulders and do start to move the scapulas here, circling the shoulder blades. Now with those heels that we did earlier, pounding the heels into the ground helps to increase bone density. We're going to do the same with the hands right here. Separate your shoulder blades, stick back onto the heels, and now start to place them down. Yes, you can continue with that. Do another session if you are not going to bother anybody. Make some noise. And I'm folding mine because I need a little extra lift. If you already have a big cushion, you may not need it. And landing the right leg, the right shin on top of that cushion. Bringing the hands forward. Bring your shoulders now over those wrists and separate your shoulder blades big and wide. The balance that right shin, right leg on the blanket. Bend your left knee and lift your left leg up. Good. We're touching the knee towards the floor and push again up. So just some gluteal activation. When we have strong glutes, it helps to support the hips, which in turn helps to support your spine. Press out through the tips of your fingers, so you're not just anchoring in the heel of your hand. Good. Separate those shoulder blades and think of the being up the ceiling. 3 and 2. Keep that knee up behind you and straighten through that left leg. The right arm walks forward and reaches in front of the shoulder. Glide diagonal and return back to center. Keep the head in line with your spine, so the head's not going with your arm. The torso's not swaying with the arm or leg. You keep everything else centered, just the limbs. Last 2. Last time, come back in line with the joints, land the leg down and the hand down and circle the leg. Notice the left hip is not elevated here. Reverse go the other direction, keeping your pelvis in neutral. Hug your front ribs towards your spine right here. 2. And release. Landing the knee down and removing that big cushion. So as you're here, if your knees need extra cushion, absolutely throw something down. We are going to take something into our hands here. Now that you're here, think of your tailbone dropping downward and feeling a bit of a posterior tuck or a lumbar lengthening. Keeping that straight spine, the arms reach in front of you as you lean back. Good, hold. Press the palms into that resistance, a little bit of resistance. And take the arms and the torso above the knees. You come up. Now notice that the spine with this. Lean back and lift. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last 2. Last 1. Lean and hold the lean right here. Re-lengthen through the low back. Hug your front ribs in and slide your shoulder blades a little bit behind you towards each other. Great. And then we'll land the left knee on that cushion here. Dropping the left shin, the left knee. This creates a little bit of challenge for our balance. Walk the hands forward of your shoulders at first. Good. Press into that cushion. Bring your shoulders over the wrists and the right knee bent. Lift up and take that knee down again. So notice here, continue with that. Notice as you're lifting the leg, you might feel one hip come a little higher to the underarm. We really want to level the pelvis out. So we have long waist on both sides. Continue with that lift for 4. Let's do 2 more. Great. Hold that knee high, straighten through the leg here. Beautiful. Now we're taking the left arm forward and up in front of the shoulder. Head and tailbone stay in alignment. Glide the leg and arm sideways and come back. So feeling that little bit of abdominal challenge. Open out to the sides and return. Out and return. 3. Hug those front ribs in one direction without lifting the hip. Do hug your front ribs to your spine. Circle the leg the other direction here. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Land that knee down. Beautiful. We're going to sit on that cushion and work into the eyes. And this is again for our brain longevity. Which foot do you have in front? Switch that up just to, again, wake up the hips differently. So let's take the left index finger to the chin here, double that chin, and take the right finger out, like you're about to shake your finger at somebody, but no, we won't do that. So keep your one finger on the chin to hold the neck steady. We tend to move and not even realize that we're moving the head. Just moving the eyes, take your finger over to the right side and follow it with your eyes here. See where you can hold your head center and keep looking, how far can you go? Bring that finger back in, you're still following it with your eyes. Switch, left finger goes out, right finger at the chin, not moving your chin at all. Guide the eyes to the left by following that finger, open, see where you can go. Take the eyes to the corner, and then bring the finger back in front. Nice, relax the hands down. And now starting to circle the eyeballs in a big rotation all of the way around, all the way around. Good. And then circle the other way, all the way around. You can close your eyes for this. I was just keeping them open to show you, but close the eyes here. Great. And then release. Lovely. So I mentioned the organs in the description of this practice. When we were getting into the big toe, that leads all the way up to the kidney. So there is that meridian line. So by massaging your feet, you get all of this awakening happening in the organs. Let's now go to the rest of the sole of the foot using your thumbs and massage the soles here, getting into everywhere. Really think of your own little self-acupuncture here by pushing into the little areas, really giving those feet a massage. Let the top fingers on top of the foot also massage here. So a lot happening. We're going to directly impact the organs by using that cushion, or here also the inflated ball would be very handy, where we're going to ball up that cushion a little bit. So you want it to have lots of nooks and crannies, nothing too smooth, and really create this little ball of substance here. And then reclining on top of it, taking your gut, your belly, to that massage instrument now. And now you've become your own massage therapist. Start to wiggle and maneuver and get into different areas. And if there's a part of that pillow has some pressure on it, you want to get that pressure into different areas. So I'm just going to make an adjustment for myself because I want to get into the other organs a little bit. So change where you have the most pressure and massage here. This is where the gorgeous ball was really designed for this work. So if you do have an inflated ball of some kind, the gorgeous ball is unique in that it has a bit of a thinner substance, thinner rubber, and it's more pliable, so it'll go into the contours of your gut a little bit. But again, if you don't have that, this is a great little something. As long as we're doing something, massage. And then sort of do a little wiggle backward, a little wiggle, moving your body forward. Just get all this movement happening to massage. They can restrict the diaphragmatic movement or restrict our breathing patterns. So it's really important to unglue and unstick those tissues. Pause right here and then create a stack of hands. Rest your forehead down and breathe. Now this movement is going to create a lot of movement internally, giving the organs the massage that they need to push the waste product out and absorb new nutrients. Just like a sponge, if it's full of dirty water, we want to squeeze that out and then absorb new, fresh, clean water. As you're doing this, relax into the teeth and the jaw and breathe. So the breath is the movement, lots of things happening on the inside. Great. Keep breathing. And then just pause and let your natural breath happen. Feel free to flatten the hands and rest all the way down like you're about to take a little nap. And now with awareness into the pelvic floor, relax through the groin as much as possible. And you may not even know when you're really fully relaxed. So let's give an engagement here. Squeeze into the pelvic floor, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze everything all the way up to the belly button. And then release, let it melt, let it go. And then allow that to stay in that relaxed state. Stay with your breath right here.
Maybe a mantra comes to mind, some encouragement for the self. I face challenges head on, could be one. I take care of my own well-being. I face adversity head on. And don't you though? Haven't you though? You've made it this far in life. You've faced some challenges and come out the other side. It's been no big deal. So that's going to happen again and again. And just be aware of that. Be aware of how strong you already are. You've already made it this far. Right? Mm-hmm. Beautiful. I encourage you to stay here and just breathe.
I encourage you to keep those personal mantras in your own mind. And have an awesome day. Thank you again from YogaVision. My name is Rachelle. If you like this video, please hit the little like button. And we'd love to see you subscribe so that we can keep, as a team, giving you all of these different classes and experiences. Thank you so much and have an awesome day.